Hey guys, Gathering the Magic back again, and it's time for another update to the Splinterlands Market Watch. Today is March 24th, 2024, and it's been about 2 weeks since we did the last Market Watch, so it's time to take a look at the tokens, packs, cards, see what the movement's been in the last couple of weeks. So starting off with SPS, as you guys know, SPS 2 weeks ago was getting close to 3 cents. Currently, it's trading just above 2 cents. We did dipped down below 2 cents for a couple of days, and we've rebounded just a little bit, but a pretty significant drop over the last 2 weeks. Just to give you an update, one of the things I just worked on, I haven't gone over it in a while, is my power of 10% strategy. Where basically every time the SPS price moves up or down 10%, I'll either buy or sell accordingly. So recently, with the price dipping, I have been buying more for this example. So as we can see, currently, what my buy target and sell targets are the last time that I bought was when SPS had just dipped below 2 cents. That grew my bag to over 41,000 SPS. So my new targets are if SPS dips to 1.76 cents, I'll buy another 10% of the bag. If it goes up to 2.14, which it's getting close to, I will sell 5% of my bag. So when I started this example, I started with 22,000 SPS, and the price of SPS was at 2 cents. So we're basically exactly where I was when I first started this example, at 2 cents. So the value of the account, if you multiply 2 cents by the 22,000 SPS, comes out to $440. So currently now the bag is at 41,495, so almost double. Now it did have to spend almost an extra $300 out of pocket to buy SPS during those dips. But if you multiply the current SPS bag by that 1.95 cent price, which was my last buy price, comes out to $809 worth of SPS if I were to sell it at that price. Even subtracting the $289 out of pocket, it comes out to a total value of the account of about $520. So simply just buying the dips, selling on the little bit of pumps, even with the price not going up or down, is basically flatlined over, I think I started this example last August. Not only have I grown my bag, but I'm still ahead as far as total value. So from $440 to $520. So at least so far the strategy seems to work. Now, like I said, this is flatline. This isn't, the SPS price pumping. This isn't the SPS price, crashing. It's, like I said, flatline, over the last, 6 months or so. We've hovered right around that 2 cent range. So far the example is going pretty good. So just wanted to give you guys a quick update on that. Okay, so back to the market watch. So now looking at vouchers. The voucher price last time we checked about 2 weeks ago was just under 5 cents. Now it's dipped down to just a little bit under 4 cents. Current vouchers in circulation. Over the last just over 2 weeks, we've added about 300,000 vouchers. So we're adding about 18,800 vouchers a day to the supply. Now remember, they are printing 40,000 per day. So we're burning through over half of that already, probably mainly through use of energy. SPS burnt over the last 2 weeks. In the last 2 weeks, we burned about 1.7 million SPS, which comes out over those 16 days to about a little over 100,000 SPS that we're burning per day. Okay, so now let's look at packs. Some of the pack prices can seem kind of off, especially for like the alpha price. Alphas were going for around 70, 72 bucks. The reason this one's at 41, there hasn't really been any movement at all on alpha packs on Hive for the last 2 weeks, but there was one person that sold a pack for 20 or 41.20. So that's why you have this kind of like really low price. There are currently 4,307 packs left. 2 weeks earlier, there was 4,335, so 28 alpha packs have been opened. If you look at beta, price is pretty much the same. We've opened a little over 500 beta packs, So you're looking at 22,713 packs, or 22,170 packs left. Untamed, you're just under 45,000. Over 700 packs were opened in the last 2 weeks. Dice, not a lot of movement. Only 9 packs opened. Orb, you can see just over 20 packs open in 2 weeks. So, very low people opening Dice or Orb packs. Chaos Legion, I actually bought some Chaos Legion packs yesterday for under 70 cents. So they've really dipped down. Great time to pick up Chaos Legion packs. I mean, I don't know if they can go much lower. I think the cheapest I saw yesterday was 64 or 65 cents, and they've come back up to 71, 72 cents. In the last 2 weeks, it looks like people have opened about 54,869 Chaos Legion packs over the last 2 weeks. Rift Watchers, price has come down a little bit, 385 to 329, and about 600 Rift Watcher packs have opened. We're down to 129,240. And then Rebellion, exactly the same price as 2 weeks ago, $3.87 a pack. 2 weeks ago, we had sold about 821,000. Now we're up to just over 845. So in the last 2 weeks, about 24,500 packs have been sold. So it looks like we're selling on average over the last 2 weeks about 1,500 Rebellion packs every day. Okay, so that's it for packs. So now for alpha. So what I want to do for the cards going forward, I'll show you, you can take a screenshot and kind of look at what the prices have done for all the different rarities and, gold foils and all that. But what I want to do to just kind of have a visual record, because some of the information that I don't have, but I think it's important, is to actually see the cards in circulation and how many are available for sale. That would just take me way too long to do. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to alpha, we're going to go to core, we're going to go just one by one to the rarities, just so you guys can kind of see how many cards are available. So we're going to start with alpha commons. Love what KGM Jam is doing every day. Every day he tries to buy $1 worth of alpha cards. And the floor price for alphas, if we just go back real quick, it shows that they dipped down from 2 weeks ago from 53 cents to 51. But a couple weeks prior to that, you were looking at maybe 35 to 40 cents for some of the cheaper commons. So they are ticking up. But yeah, I just want to kind of go through the cards just to kind of show you visually, so we can just have a record. So you can just go back and you can see how many are in circulation and how many are available on the market. So these are all the alpha commons for the regular foil. Now let's go to the gold foil so you can take a look at those. Gold foil commons, there's actually a couple under 30 bucks still, but you can see the low amounts. Some of these there's just single copies. There's no more than, what's the highest number here, 6. So you've got 6 divine healers. So your price range is from $27 to $123 for an alpha common. Long-term potential, I still say, is just incredible for these cards. If this game ever explodes, and there's just such a low supply of these cards. I mean, look at for commons, you're in the 300 range. Okay, so now let's look at the rare cards for alpha. Look at the regular foil, so you're looking at $1.30. All the way up to Alric Summoner for $11.90. Only 13 copies available. So once again, I'm thinking of doing this as well, just trying to pick up a few alpha cards here and there. I follow on YouTube Rudy from Alpha Investments. He is huge into collecting Magic the Gathering cards, and of course the channel is called Alpha Investments, and I see the same thing here. Long-term investment is going to be these alpha cards. And then let's look at the gold foil rares. You can see once again, single copies, 2, maybe 3 of some of them. That is it. I believe there are 20 rares in the set. There's only 10 available for sale. Let's look at the epics. So looking at the epics, you can see they're going for 470 to 822. and just a handful. There's just 4 epics available on the market. And look at the print rate. There's only 65 of this card, 67, so extremely low print rate. And then finishing up with the legendary cards. Once again, you're looking at 43 bucks to just under 100 for the legendary cards. There's actually a gold foil alpha legendary for sale. I think this is the first one that I've seen since I've started doing the Market Watch. Lord of Darkness, $5,240. There's only 22 in circulation, and 2 of them are on the market. So incredible card right there. Now let's look at the promo cards. So you've got your regular foil and gold foil promos. There is not a beta copy. Let's look real quick for the promos. So the common promo is pretty much the same, $21. The rare promo previously was $16. There's not one on the market. And then the other promos are pretty much the same price as they were 2 weeks ago. And then for the promo cards, you can see the gold foil versions there. Okay, so let's move to beta. Let's look at just the core beta cards. So once again, I just want to have kind of a visual record just so we can see, months from now, a year from now, how many cards were in circulation, so we can compare like how many get combined and burned and all that, and how many are actually on the market. So here are your beta commons, ranging from 14 cents up to surprisingly 62 cents for Rexy. Not sure why he's the most expensive one. I would put Crustacean King and Flesh Golem, yep, the Healer, the Miner. I would put these 4 as the top. These 2 are kind of surprising. So let's go ahead and look at the rares. So you're looking at, 6,000 to 8,000 of each rare. Some of the summoners too, very affordable. Getting a summoner for 60 cents from beta, that has that 5% bonus is not too bad. $1.75 for Zintar, and of course your most expensive one is Alric at just under $11. Only 20 copies for sale. Go ahead and look at the beta epics. So you're looking at $2.20 for Dark Enchantress, all the way up to $9.95 for Swamp Thing. It's so funny to see this before it uploads the pictures. Okay, and then you're looking at just, 1,500 to, 2,100 or so of each of these epics. And then the legendary cards, cheapest one, Chromatic Dragon at just under $9. So you can see not very many copies of these. And then your most expensive, of course, are your legendary summoners. So Voldemort is at 150, but you can see right around 600 of each of these cards in circulation. So extremely rare. So let's look now at the gold foil. So your gold foil commons, you're looking at just under $5 for the Goblin Shaman, up to $22 for the Fire Beetle. Once again, very low prints for most of these cards. Going to the rares, Enchanted Pixie, love that card. Just under $25 for that rare, only 7 on the market. Up to, once again, a surprising card. Cyclops is the most expensive at $77, 4 on the market. It's like, how is this $77, but yet Alric is $49 when Alric was the most expensive card? So to me, Alric might be a deal to pick up. Let's look at the epics. So you're looking at $65 for the Dark Enchantress, up to $1,000 for the Serpent of the Flame. This is the only copy. So as you can see, once you start getting to only single copies or 2 copies, you can pretty much just name your price and see if it sells. And then your legendary, welcome to your first $1 million card on Splinterlands. You are looking at a $1 million gold foil Selenia Sky, single copy. There's only 63 in circulation available. All right, so next let's go to the promo cards. So not a whole lot of promo cards. So your one common, your Delwyn Dragon Scales pretty much stayed the same, right around 72 cents. Your rare Dragonling Bowman, 51. Harpy at 383, Red Dragon 2450, and then you get the extremely rare Archmage Arius at 1230, Prince Julian at just under 5,000. So if we compare that for the last couple of weeks, like I said, Dragon Scale's pretty much stayed the same, not a lot of change there as far as the other promo cards. When you start getting into the legendaries, the Red Dragon dipped slightly. Prince Julian actually went up $1,000, and then Archmage Arius, there was a copy a couple weeks ago for $7,300. Now there's one for $1,230. So just huge price swings for some of these ultra rare cards. And then looking at the gold foil, you can see Dragon Scales at 12, the rares at 29. The Epic is at 180.77, and then you have a single copy of the Red Dragon going for 35,000. No gold foil Arius or Prince Julians. Okay, what else do we want to look at? So we went through beta. So now it's time to go to Untamed. So let's check out Untamed, regular foil, commons. Let's look at the core and the reward cards. So once again, you still getting some of the not that old of a set, and some of the commons are still a penny or two. So 2 cents up to 36 for the failed summoner. I can remember when the Serpentine Spy was like a couple of dollars per BCX, so he's down to 23 cents. One of the things I think I might start doing too is start some of these, because I play in Wild, so some of these untamed cards, and I'll go through some other examples that are a lot lower than they used to be, might be a great time to pick up. Some of these key cards like the Failed Summoner, the Serpentine Spy, your Sandworm, your Mantoid, Demented Shark for the Inspire. There's some really good cards out here that are very cheap and I think good pickups. The one that I wanted to highlight, looking at some of the rare cards, wait for this to load. So the picture will actually match. Shield Bearer. I remember Shield Bearer $5, $8, $10, 47 cents. So if you're playing in Wild, it might be a great time to pick up cards like these. I don't know if it's going to go much lower than that. Bortus is really a key summoner for that -1 magic when you have the magic only rule sets. I don't see a whole lot of people picking up Bortus. So if you can pick up some copies at 76 cents and get him to a decent level, he's really going to help you in some battles. Unicorn Mustang, I think, is another key card. That's under $1. Living Lava, 42 cents. True Speaker, 35. So there are a lot of very good cards. Ice Pixie for the flying and low mana and magic damage. A lot of very good cards in Untamed. So let's look at epics now. So your epics are looking at 35 cents for the cheapest, up to 215 for the Goblin Fire Mage. So you can see some prices of the cards here. Coral Wraith is another card that I love, just over $1. Axemaster, I can remember that was very pricey, down to $1.40. Card that a lot of people don't play, but I like it in Wild. The Sorcerer with the 2 magic damage right off the bat. And Rust, which is a really good ability to have nowadays with everyone having armor. Surprised this card is still under $1. But once again, just want to show you guys all these cards so you can see the print rate and how many are on the market. So let's go now to the legendaries. So your cheapest legendary and Untamed will cost you $2.50. And we go on up to, the key cards. Kitty is at $111. So if we look at some of the prices just from 2 weeks ago, Kitty was at $140. Now she's $111. Llama was $65, just under $66. He's now just under $49. Jotun was $109. Now he's down to $85. And Kron, I was surprised when he went from $21 to $19. Now he's at $17.63, I think the price is. Yep. So a lot of these key cards are becoming just a little bit more affordable. And then one of the cards I really want to get, in fact, I think I might pick one up after I'm done recording this video, because it's a card I use a lot in Splinterforge, is the Halfling Alchemist, which I know for a while was 15 to 20 bucks, somewhere in there. And then when he dipped under 10, he was like 8, 9. I'm like, well, should I get one or not? Yeah, there's one under 5, so I'm thinking I might get him. Chain Golem, I think a couple weeks ago he was a lot higher. Yeah, a lot higher. There was like copies of him for $69, which I thought was just, I didn't understand the price spike of why he spiked up that high, but now he's gone back down to a more realistic, you know, $20 to $25. So he's $22.50. And then there is a single copy of the Mighty Dricken legendary card, only 89 in circulation, for just under $4,000. So there's your promos. Let's look at the gold foil promos so we can just take a look at those. So there isn't a gold foil alchemist, surprisingly. There is a chain golem for $4.95. Oh, there he is. It just didn't upload the picture. So Halfling Alchemist, only 141 in circulation, 270. Chain golem for $4.95. Let's look at some of the other gold foils. Untamed. Let's look at Corn Reward. So for Untamed, you can pick up some common gold foils for under $1, 65 cents. On up to Albatross for $4.30. Boy, that's tempting. Serpentine Spy gold foil for under $2.50. Okay, so let's look at the rare cards. So you're looking at, you know, between 700 to 1,000 copies of some of these rares. So 273 is the cheapest rare, going on up to $22 for Chimer Princess. Like I said, I can remember when a regular foil shield bearer was $7.50. Now you can get a gold foil for the same price. Same thing with Unicorn Mustang. I remember that being about $8 for a single BCX. Now you can get a gold foil level 2 for the same price. So interesting how the prices change over the months. Okay, now for the epics, you're looking at just under 17 for the cheapest epic, and now we're starting to get really low print runs, you know, under 300. Look, only 231 copies up to under 500. So you're starting to get the more and more lower print run cards. You can see for a lot of these there's under 10 copies available. So once again, I want you guys to be able to see just the print run and the numbers. And then for legendaries, Ancient Lich gold foil for under 200, just over 100 in circulation. And then for some of the key gold foil cards, summoners, Jotun 7,500, Kitty 1881, Lear Deep Swimmers just under 1,000. Another big card is Llama just under 900. Kron for 540, and you can see only 2 available, only 127 in circulation. This is one of the reasons why I think packs are a good hold long term. If you can see some of the low print runs and prices, I mean right now you can get Untamed packs I think for around $10. So it's like, at least for me, you know, I'm going to pick a few up and just let them sit. You know, because there's always that chance. People love to play the lottery. They love to crack a pack. So if you can buy a pack for $10 and maybe get, you know, it's not going to sell for $7,500, but, you know, realistically, you know, if you can open a $10 pack and get a card that's worth a few $100s, you know, there is that gambler aspect to the game. So it's one of the reasons why I talk from time to time on the channel of why I think packs are a great long-term hold. Okay, so what else do we need to go through? I think Dice is next, so let's check out Dice. So let's go to Dice, let's check out regular foil. Very small set, of course. Commons really aren't going to change much, 3 to 13 cents for your commons. One of the things that surprised me for the summoners, which are all your rare cards, is how Mylor has come down to just over $2 for a single copy. You know, this, everybody knows how, you know, this card was so huge a couple years ago in the meta, but just to be able to get a card, you know, still decently powerful, you know, for $2 is kind of surprising to me. Epics, just 3 epics in the set. You can see the prices here in the print run. And then finishing with the legendary cards, 10 legendary cards. Crawless, just under 25, and Epona, just under 50. You can see the print runs here. And then let's look at the gold foil cards. So your commons, you know, right around $1 for most of them. just under $1, $1.30. Flamesmith at $2.65. Your rares, of course, which are your summoners. Oh god, I remember. I think this was the first gold foil summoner that I bought, and I bought it. Geez, now probably definitely over 2 years ago. And I'm sad to say, when I bought Vera, I know it was over 50 bucks, and now it's under 4. And I think the reason I bought it was because it was so cheap compared to the other ones. So yep, times have changed. And Mylor, a gold foil Mylor for just over 20 bucks, and Lorna for just over 20 bucks. So still some good cards out there, good value. Epics, the 3 epics you can see in the $15 to $20 range. Just, single cop, or, under 10 copies of each of these. And then your legendaries. Actually, for such a small set, I was surprised that there's this many gold foil legendaries listed. Now, granted, there's only 1, 2, or 3 copies of each one, but was kind of surprised to see that they are out there. So, just under $200 for Poseidon. There's only 82 in circulation. And then Epona, there's only 29 in circulation, and 2 available. Alright, so that takes care of dice. I think, what's the next set? Orbs. Yep, orb is the next set. So let's take a look at that. That is under beta. So let's look at the regular foil. So of course, another very small set. This is a set where you would open a pack and you'd get 2 of the same common. So, a decent card. I love Armorsmith, especially for the armor repair for the even rule sets. Sometimes you have the odd, so you're not able to play the Scavo. So play the Scavo in the odd rule set and play the Armorsmith in the even rule set. So you can pick him up for 12 cents. Rares, I love the Undead Archer from Death Team. 2 mana and Affliction is huge. Same thing with the Bard. Having a cleanse for 1 mana is very nice. So some nice cards, even though it's an extremely small set. The epics, these had both been between $2 to $3 for quite a while. Surprised that the Mermaid Healer spiked to $6.45. But just wanted to point that out. As you can see, just around 3,000 of each card printed, and 13 to 15 on the market. And then for your legendaries, 3 cards available, under 1,000 of each, and you're looking at basically 25 bucks to $32.50 for the legendary cards. And then if we look at the gold foil versions, you're looking at $4 basically for the Goblin Chef, all the way up to $7.80 for the Enchanted Defender. Your rares, $17.50 to $22. Look at the low amount that's available on the market. Your epics, even though the Mermaid Healer, the price was a lot higher compared to the Dwarven Wizard, they're basically identical price for the gold foil versions. And then for your legendary, the same Minotaur Warlord 2 weeks ago for 8,000, and then you have a Corrupted Pegasus for just under $800. So that is it for Orb. So now we start getting into Chaos Legion. So Chaos Legion, let's take a look at that. The core and reward cards. Of course, not a lot of movement for the regular cards. But one of the reasons I want to show this is, like I said, just for a future record, so we can see how many were in circulation and how many were on the market, so we can compare that to how it will look months in the future. So here are your Chaos Legion commons. So you can see the circulation and how many are on the market. Oops, should have sorted, so I'll just show the common cards. So your most expensive common card is a Scavo at 14 cents. You can see how many are on the market. So now let's look at the rares. So 2 cents for the cheapest ones. These were the old reward cards. So you can see some of them, there are 1,000 still on the market. And we're going up to the summoners. So your summoners, you're looking at General Sloan at 29 cents, Tarsa at 30, Thaddeus Brute at 35, Obsidian at 39, and Kalia at 60 cents. And let's take a look also at how many are in circulation. You're looking at basically 65 to 70,000 of these summoners still in circulation with, 100 to 200 copies available on the marketplace. So this is one thing that I really want to have a record of so we can see going forward how the summoner prices change and how many are in circulation, so we can kind of see how many are combined. And then going to the epics, 10 cents for the cheapest epic, up to 63 cents for the wave brood. So there are your epic cards. And now for your legendaries, Genoshanis down to 52 cents. Actually cheaper than Hardclaw and Jin Bilka. Very surprised by that. Are these things going to hit under 50 cents? Great pickups for land. I mean, if you max this guy out, it's under $6, and you're going to get 1,500 points for land. So, once again, not financial advice, but I think a lot of people are kind of not thinking about land right now. It might be a good time to pick up some of these cards. Okay, and then looking at the summoners, so your cheapest one is Wraith at 554. We've got a decent amount of cards on the market for the summoners, and you're looking at, well, what's the lowest? Lily about 8,500 up to 11,000 for some of these in circulation. So we'll see how these numbers change over the coming months. Okay, so now let's look at gold foil. It's your cheapest gold foil commons. For a while, remember when these were 50 cents a few months ago? 45 to 50 cents for your cheapest common when people were really gearing up for land and, getting your max gold foil commons to put on land. Now they're about half price. So 22 cents for Gargoyle Lion. Now, I know people are not big onto neutral cards for land. One thing that I would kind of suggest that people think about, especially if you have a lot of plots or a lot of tracts of land, you may want to pick up the neutral cards simply to be your clearing army. Pick up these neutral cards because you can just move them from plot to plot to plot. It doesn't matter what they are. They're going to give you basically the same amount of production points. You're not going to get the bonus, but you're not going to get a negative penalty. And you can just take these, clear your plot, wait 3 days, move to the next plot. And you're not going to have to worry about getting a different variety of splinters to clear your land. So just something to think about if you are a large land owner. Don't overlook the value of some of the gold foil neutrals. Okay, but yeah, we're looking at 22 cents to $1.33. Decent amount on the marketplace, and in the mid 15, 18,000 range it looks like for a lot of them. Your rares, there's actually one under $1. So basically $1 up to, let's look at the summoners, $3 to $5.50 for the summoners. You can see the print runs here. And then one of my favorites for land, the gold foil epics. Now, when I was picking these up when land launched and we were able to put monsters on land, I know I was spending, it was basically $8 to $9 for each of my gold foil epics. So they've come down to $5 up to $9. So they have come down, I would say, by about a third in price. So, I remember looking for Magi Necrosi, and he was like $8 or $9. Same thing with Dax Paragon. I needed to pick up a lot of Life and Dragon. So another one I was looking at was Jin Chihuahua. I bought a lot of these, and they were around the $8 to $9 range. So $5.50, I still have plots of land where I need some more workers. I think it's going to be a good time for me to pick up some more of these cards to put on land while the price of these is a lot lower than where it has been. Not saying they can't go lower, but just from where they were, this is a pretty good deal. And then you can see the print runs here. And then let's look at the gold foil legendaries. Can't believe there's actually a gold foil legendary under $30. And once again, when land launched, the floor for these was $45 to $50 per. I think a week ago it was like 35, 38. They've come down, even a couple bucks from there. But yeah, $30 for a gold foil legendary, and this will give you 2,500 production points. Decent amount. Let you guys take a look at this so you can see the print runs and how many are available on the market. And your most expensive gold foil legendary is actually under $65. Now, from what I had recorded 2 weeks ago, you can see the floor of the gold foil legendaries was $35 up to $100. So I thought, okay, for the better gold foil or for the better legendary cards, $100 seems to be a good price. All of these are under 70. So it's like, wow, these gold foil legendaries have really come down in price. Okay, what else do we need to talk about? Oh, the promo cards. So let's look at the promo cards. It's so funny to see them with the wrong picture. Okay, so let's look at the common ones. So Archimus the Bear has come up a little bit. He was like 9 cents, now he's up to 13. I think Bruce was like 25, he's up to 29. And then, actually, let's just look at the notes. Yep, the gold foil versions, the Bear was 217, he's up to 321. Bruce went down a little bit from 330 to 310. So those are your common promos. Now if we look at the legendary promos, you can actually get Dr. Blight for under 20 bucks. So going through these, I'll leave this on the screen for a minute so you guys can see the prices of these and the circulation. But if we look at 2 weeks ago, Osher come down slightly. Dr. Blight was 33. Now it's down to 18. Zuriel was at 60. She's down about 45. Waka came down a little bit, as did Lux from 470 to 394. But if we look at the promo cards, Dr. Blight 2 weeks ago was 229. Now he's 105. Zuriel dipped down a little bit from 248 to 190. There is no gold foil Waka. I don't know if that one sold, probably just took it down. And then Lux is the same price. So Dr. Blight seems to be the card, at least for the promos, in the last 2 weeks that has really dipped down in price. So that's one key thing to take away from the last 2 weeks. Let's move on now to Rift Watchers. So we've got 2 more sets to go through. So Rift Watchers, once again, you're not going to get a lot of change in the common cards, but I want to show you this just so we can get an idea of the circulation and how many are on the market. Let's go to regular foil first. So this is your set of commons, so 2 cents to 20 cents, but 25 to 30,000, actually 40,000 in circulation. And then your rares, fantastic cards. You guys have heard me talk about Rift Watchers. Such good rares just across the board. 13 cents to 89 cents. The Queen of Crows for a while had hovered around $1, $1.20. She's down to 89 cents. But yeah, these top 4 are just almost must-have rares for Rift Watchers. And then epics. One thing I wanted to point out, we know a lot of the lower Rift Watchers epic summoners have been kind of, slept on and all that, kind of, under $1. Ilthane, I wanted to point out, is actually under 4. Now this card had been $5 to $6 for quite a while. I know there were some people, hoping and praying the card would come under $5. It's actually under 4. So if you're looking to pick up Ilthane now for your deck, there's 100 on the market, and she is under $4. So might be a good time to pick up that card. And then for the legendaries, another thing I wanted to ask you guys, please leave a comment. Why is Runemancer a twat not the lowest priced legendary card anymore? He's actually up to 658. This was always the card it seemed like nobody wanted, and now he's moved above some of the other cards. He's actually moved above the Ancient Redwood, which I think is a decent card. So just curious as why this card has gone up a little bit in value. But you can see these cards are still decently holding their value, above $5 for the cheapest legendary card. Coral Lurker still hovering in the $15 to $20 range, as is Agor. One card that has really tanked, in my opinion, is Immolation. I remember this card was 20, 25 bucks, and now it's basically half of that. So even though it does have, the good magic damage right off the bat, it's really being discounted. As is C-Rec. I know this card came out kind of around the I think it was $20 plus price range, and it's kind of settled since then. So Inevitable, great card. I use this all the time in Splinterforge. And this is, I think it was around 30, 35 for a while. It's down to 23. So some of these have settled in price, but look at the low amount of print run for these cards, especially your last couple ones that came out as the airdrops. You know, you're looking at under 2,000 of these compared to basically twice the amount of the earlier ones. So very low print run. You know, there's not a lot of Rift Watcher packs out there, but there are a decent amount on the market. So now let's look at the gold cards. So your gold foil cards, you're looking at 37 cents for the cheapest, up to 210. Can take a look at the print runs. Now looking at your rare cards, Techno-Wizologist, and like I said, I love all of these rares. Just great set. So $1.37 up to, surprisingly, Runic Skyclaws overtaking Queen of Crows is most expensive at $7.59 over $7.24. So you can see just over 1,300 copies of some of these cards. Then epics for the summoners. Skargor, $6.65 and $29 for an Ilthane. I believe a couple weeks ago, Ilthane was. Do I have it? I think Ilthane was the one that was $39.90. So Ilthane's come down from $40 to $29. So that one's come down a bit. And then looking at your legendary cards, remember how the most expensive Chaos Legion gold foil legendary was under $65? Look at Inevitable, $290, Immolation, $155, Agor, $120. So a lot of these are higher than the most expensive Chaos Legion cards, but of course it's because the print run is so much lower for these. So I just wanted to show you the prices on these cards. And now we will move on over to Rebellion. And we'll wrap it up here. So let's go to Rebellion. Let's start with the promo cards. So Grimbarden Smith, I think Dwayne talked about this in a video yesterday. He was a couple weeks ago, $740, $750. He's dropped down to just over $5. So his value has gone down a lot. The gold foil has pretty much held right around the $50 range. So even though they say that card coming out is a Smith killer, I think this card is still going to hold a decent amount of value. But it may settle down even lower. I wouldn't be surprised if it dips down, to me, $3.50 to $4 range. I think would be a nice floor price for the Smith. Mantaroth, I think it was a month ago, spiked up above $70. 2 weeks ago, he settled down to 48. Now he's down to just around 45. And the gold foil is a little bit low, but he seems to be holding his price right around, close to that $500 range for a gold foil Mantaroth. As you can see, the extremely low print runs, especially the gold foils. I mean, under 700 for a rare is pretty low, and then 131 for the gold foil legendary. So that's for the promo cards. If we look at just the regular set, just so once again, so you guys can take a look and see the number, how many are on the market for the commons, 10,000-ish for the commons, up to the most expensive ones. Let's go to common. Are of course probably going to be your summoners and your 2-cost cards, your 2-mana cards. Seem to be the most popular, looking at 35 cents for the commons. For your rares, looking at just right around 4,000 copies of each of these, 21 cents. Up until Moxian Rebel at $1.90 and Avina of the Wolf at $1.75. A couple of the key cards from the set. Your epics, looking at just over $1 to $5.38 for Captain Fellblade. Looks like around 1,700 to 2,000 copies of each of these. And then your legendaries, Zabane, you're looking at $5.50. Rage, this just dipped down since I started doing the numbers. I believe earlier in the day this card was $22. Now it's actually under $20 and right around $24 for Darg. But look again at the low amount that are on the market, because a lot of people have them on their mage wagons. So now finishing up, let's look at the gold foil cards. So your commons, you're looking at about $1.50 for a gold foil common. Up to some of the summoners, you're looking at just over $5. So not too bad to get a level 3 gold foil summoner for around $5. Your rares, you're looking at just over $5 for a gold foil rare, up to just under $20 for Avina the Wolf and Moxian Rebel. You can see the print runs here. You're in the 400 to 500 range for the print runs for the rare cards. Looking at the epics, now we start getting pricey. Gold foil epics have come down a little bit from their highs, looking at $29 up to $80. Not sure why this card is the most expensive and not Fellblade. Maybe because there's only 2 copies available, but once again, very low print run. Just a couple hundred of each of these so far are available, and less than 10 of all of these on the market. So extremely low print run. And then the legendary cards, you're looking at 100 and basically $34 for the cheapest, up to $248 for Darg. Rage Gold Foil is currently selling for $222. So I believe that is everything that I want to cover in this Market Watch. So like I said, the reason I wanted to scroll through these cards is just for future reference. So we can just see how things change over the coming weeks and months, and hopefully, if we do hit a raging bull market, we can see if a lot of these cards dry up, get combined, and a lot of them get sucked off the market. So hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys enjoyed this long Market Watch update. Like I said, I will do this every 2 weeks going forward, just so we can kind of get a pulse of not only what are the cards doing on the marketplace, but we can also, take a look and see how the tokens are doing, how vouchers are, is the voucher amount of vouchers in circulation going to change? And hey, that makes me think, you know what I should do? I think we're going to do a video later today going over how I think the vouchers in circulation may go down a lot more than people think. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So stay tuned for that. We're going to talk about vouchers in the next video. So hope you guys are doing well. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something, and hope you found this information useful. And as always, stay the course, keep on forging, and have fun. We'll see you soon.